Snow squalls are intense bursts of heavy snow that quickly cause whiteout conditions on the highway. Because these conditions can cause deadly multi-vehicle pileups, the National Weather Service treats them similarly to severe thunderstorm or tornado warnings with alerts. So I want to bring in John Bangoff with the National Weather Service office there in State College, Pennsylvania. John, thanks so much for joining us. Let's talk a little bit more about some of the upgrades that have been made to warnings just because of the small-scale nature and the danger to drivers.
Yeah, so in 2018, the National Weather Service was able to implement the snow squall warning. And as you alluded to, they're similar to severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings, and it allow us to be able to highlight a very small pinpointed area where we think there's a danger for flash freeze conditions, icy roadways, reduced visibility. That has been a huge benefit to us because it allows us to push a notification to drivers on their cell phone so that they can take the proper action when a snow squall warning is issued.
What do you recommend, though, for drivers? They're like, okay, they're in their car, all of a sudden they get this warning. What would you recommend they do once they get that warning?
Absolutely. The best recommendation is to delay travel if you haven't left your house yet, or safely exit at the next possible opportunity. We understand, though, that may not be possible either. So if you do get caught in a snow squall, we recommend to slow down, avoid slamming on your brakes, turn on your hazard lights, and increase the distance between you and the car in front of you.
Really important because there in Pennsylvania, we had that accident, I think it was earlier this year on I-81. I-80, also a really tough stretch. Does that alert being sent to the phone make a difference also for folks who are out of town, not as familiar with snow squalls?
Undoubtedly, yeah. We saw in that event that there were several out-of-town folks that were traveling across I-81 that were maybe unaware of the dangers of snow squalls. And so that really is the motivation for this Snow Squall Awareness Week safety campaign that we launched last year. We want to spread the word and get the word out to folks to understand that there is no safe place on a highway during a snow squall, and to ideally make people aware of the hazard that exists, because you can go from a perfectly sunny day to whiteout conditions in an icy road, and you're trying to stop and you plow into vehicles in front of you, and man, it can be a horrifying situation.
John, what's the criteria for issuing a snow squall warning? Is it kind of subjective to the National Weather Service forecaster at the time, or is there a specific set of criteria that you have to follow?
Sure. Of the main criteria is that flash freeze component. We want the road temperatures to be above freezing before, and then the air temperatures to be below freezing. We've seen the road temperatures can be as high as 55 degrees before a snow squall hits, but if the air temperatures are below freezing, it can turn into a sheet of ice. Also, quarter-mile visibility or less, and then generally gusty winds as well. It's going to sort of depend forecaster to forecaster, but those are the general rules that we use. And again, that flash freeze component, where the road turns into a sheet of ice, is the main ingredient we're looking for issuing a snow squall warning.
We talked about drivers getting alerts. How important is your partnership with, say, the DOT to get signage up, change those electronic signs to let people know about what's ahead?
Yeah, one of the best parts about Snow Squall Awareness Week is the partnership we've developed with Pennsylvania Department of Transportation, the Pennsylvania Turnpike Commission, Pennsylvania State Police, and also Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency. We've worked on getting messages up on those digital message signs. One thing that PennDOT is also doing this year is they're installing about 63 variable speed limit signs across some of these critical areas to reduce speeds, because we know that in order to mitigate these pileups, reducing your speed is probably the best possible thing that you can do. Commercial truck traffic also can sort of exacerbate some of the issues, which makes these interstates especially dangerous. But that partnership that we've developed and the coordinated messaging that we're posting on social media from all those agencies has really been incredible, and we're so grateful for a great relationship with all those Pennsylvania agencies.
John, just a couple of seconds here. Short fuse warnings, right? How long would a typical snow squall warning last?
Yeah, generally 30 to 45 minutes, sometimes as much as an hour. One of the things that we've really tried to hone in on this year is if you get caught in a pileup, what to do. We want to move you to the front of the pileup if you can. Otherwise, we want you to stay inside your vehicle with your seatbelt fastened, or get as far away from the road as possible. Whatever you do, do not stand next to your vehicle outside. We saw some horrifying videos from that pileup on I-81. So again, encourage you to stay in your vehicle with your seatbelt fastened, get as far away from the road as possible. In a 30 to 45-minute window for those snow squall warnings. These are pretty short fused, but we encourage you. There's no safe place on a highway during a snow squall.
Well, John Bangoff, you were right. We showed that video during the interview. Scary stuff. National Weather Service office there in State College, Pennsylvania, doing great work. Thanks, John.